Hello YouTube and welcome to another video. You saw in the description I'm going to be teaching you how to do an air today. It's kind of like a carry on from a video that I done of how to drop in. I'm on the same ramp, or quarter pipe I should say. It's a 6-foot quarter pipe. It's like a really nice transition and it's just like a really good quarter pipe to air. It is quite wet on the floor today, actually very wet, but it's not going to affect the technique of me teaching you how to air. But yeah, I'm going to run you through like a little step-by-step guide of which I think are like the most essential things you want to know if you want to learn to air a quarter pipe. It's the same on a mountain bike or a BMX. Yeah, let's get to the first step. To anyone that doesn't know what an air is, it's basically a method of turning around, doing just under a 180-degree turn so that you can go up the quarter pipe and come back around and hit another feature. I'll show you an example of what I aim to teach you by the time I've done with the video. Okay, so the first step is, what way do you turn on the quarter pipe? Because obviously you can either turn right or you can turn left on the quarter pipe. I turn right on the quarter pipe because that's just what way I'm more comfortable at turning, and it actually is known as being a regular air because it's to do with feet in. Because I'm left foot forward, I air right. It's known as a regular air because I'm airing away from my front foot. Basically, if you air into your front foot, so as I'm left foot forward, if I happen to air left, that's known as a goofy air. They call it a goofy air. I'm not too sure why. The next step is you want to start riding the quarter pipe. So just literally ride around the quarter pipe, whatever way you're comfortable. And don't get any air, just literally ride around the quarter pipe, keeping both wheels on the floor, and I'll show you an example. So as you can see, I'm literally just turning on the quarter pipe. Don't go too quick because you don't want to be flying out the quarter pipe at the moment. You want to be inside the coping, so like inside the ramp. Stay to sort of like, for my instance, slightly to the far left so that you use all the ramp. You don't want to just be turning in the middle. So you want to go up on the far left, air around, and then back down. Not too close to the edge, but still using all the quarter pipe to your advantage because this will help. Because basically if you turn your wheel sort of too soon, you'll end up doing like a jackknife, which is when you turn too soon, like I say, and then it's like at a 90 degrees and it sort of like pushes your front, so you could end up going over the bars or just slipping out. Just make sure you use all the quarter pipe and don't go too quick, stay in the coping, and you'll be on the next step. So you're now comfortable in turning on the quarter pipe. It's now time to get some air, so it's the fun bit. There's a few ways of doing it, so you can do it in a bunny hop or a camel hop. So I'll show you now. A camel hop is your front wheel first, followed by your back wheel, and then a bunny hop is 2 wheels together, so like that. I recommend learning the air in a camel hop. The reason being is when you start to air higher, your front wheel's going to want to go out first, so your front wheel first, followed by your back wheel, is better, like in the long run basically. So learn that in a camel hop, but also if you're more comfortable doing it in a bunny hop, do it in a bunny hop. You're still doing an air, so it's fine. Doing it in a bunny hop, you do have more risk of over-rotating the air when you do start flying out. But yeah, I'm going to give you some examples of both ways to do it, and you can decide which way you prefer to learn. So as you can see, one's 2 wheels together, the bunny hop. One's front wheel first and then back wheel. For the long run, it is better to learn it in a camel hop, so front wheel first then back wheel, because when you fly out the coping, you'll basically be front wheel first and then your back wheel will follow, so you'll just be more comfortable at it. My tips really for this step, do what you've been doing, so go at a similar speed to what you've been turning, so you're in the ramp like what I showed you. Basically want to start pulling up on the bike, just pull up, so front wheel first, followed by the back wheel, or if you're obviously doing it in a bunny hop, you just 2 wheels together and turn. The biggest thing in an air is your leaning, because if you're leaning the way you want to go, you will 9 times out of 10 roll out. So just lean, pull up on the bike, stay well within your limits with the speed and stuff like that to start with. Once you're comfortable with how much you're leaning and how much you're pulling, you can just gradually build up to the point where you're airing out the coping. I'm going to show you some examples now of like building up, so working my way up to getting over the coping. Follow these steps and I hope in no time you'll also be able to do an air over the coping. That's sort of how you build up, get to a point where you can air comfortable at a reasonable height, and then you can basically start doing tricks as well in the air. So obviously tricks do take time to learn as well, but once you're comfortable with doing an air, comfortable with doing a trick, you can combine them together and do the trick in an air. So I'll give you some examples of that now. So from them clips you can sort of see like the cool variations you can do once you have learnt to air. It's a proper important one to have, like when you do ride a skate park, if you can't air, it does make it a lot harder. So yeah, hopefully the tips that I've shown you have helped with you learning to air, because they're sort of like the things in my head that I do when I air, but it all becomes natural over time. So just practice, persist with it, and yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to air in no time also. But that is the end of the video. If you did like the how-to, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'm getting a phone call now. See ya.